Hello, everybody. It's Nadine Smiley with the Relationship Couch. Today, we're covering part one of 10 signs of an unhealthy relationship. So, you ready to dive in? Let's go. Part one. Number one, you fight a lot. Now, there's no couple that will never have a disagreement. I know that was a double negative, but we're gonna go with it. There isn't a couple that will never have a disagreement. It's impossible. It's two different people coming from two diverse backgrounds. It just it just doesn't happen. Now, how often you have these disagreements makes a huge difference. So if you find that you guys are constantly arguing, you guys are constantly in some kind of tense situation, some kind of disagreement, then it's probably time to reevaluate not just where you both stand on different things, but it's time to reevaluate if there are some deeper causes here. A lot of times with relationships, when there is resentment, when then somewhere in the relationship, then what will happen is little things trigger arguments, and it can be things that have no negative intent are now perceived as an attack, or um, suggestions are perceived as criticisms, and everything that's said is now marred with some kind of double meaning or some kind of or laced with negative intent. So at least that's how it's viewed when when there is resentment intertwined in the relationship. So if you find that you're doing a lot of bickering, doing a lot of arguing, then it may be time to sit down and examine, what are we arguing about? Is it the same topics, the same issues over and over? If so, is there another way to deal with this conflict? And if it's just a bunch of different things, then is there something else underlying? Because when it's so often, then there's often, when it's so frequent, I'm sorry, when it becomes very frequent, then there really is oftentimes resentment or hurt, some kind of wounds are there. And that's when you need to dig a little bit deeper and look for that. See if you can come up with that. So, excuse me, the second one is feeling like you need to hide things from your partner. Now, um most let me not say most, but many couples, one of the partners will make a purchase that, you know, the couple of things from Amazon that you're like, okay, I know I shouldn't be ordering this. Let me hurry up and bring the boxes in so my partner doesn't start asking questions, or it can go either way. Buy a new pair of sneakers. Okay, let me put this in the closet. But when it comes to hiding the bigger things, hiding conversations that you're having, hiding what you're feeling, hiding outings and things like that. When it comes to feeling the need to hide from your partner for fear of consequence, or for fear of their reaction, their acceptance, things like that, that's when what you have to do is examine now. Is it that you're actually doing something wrong, for one? Is it that you're concerned about your partner's reaction? Or what is it that has you feeling the need to hide from your partner, that you can't be yourself, that you can't be comfortable with what you're feeling or what you're doing? If you hear some background noise, there is a holiday weekend, so people are outside, they're out and about. Sorry about that. Um, Now, the third one is having a controlling or non-compromising partner. So when it comes to control and compromise in a relationship where partners care about each other, in a relationship where they they want to make each other happy, they look to see where we can compromise. There will be some things that you just do not compromise with. There you have to know what areas in your life you are not compromising. And an example of that would be, for myself, respect is not an area I'm willing to compromise. In a relationship, my partner will respect me. And I cannot expect something that I'm not willing to give. So I will respect my partner as well, even in even in times of conflict. Now, it doesn't mean I won't get angry. It doesn't mean anything of that nature, but it means that even in anger, I'm still not name calling. I'm still not cursing them out. I'm still not being disrespectful. And if that does happen, for whatever wild reason that does happen, then it's my job to go fix it and change that behavior. So, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's, oh, I'm like this, and that doesn't give you license to be abusive with your language just because this is the only way that you know, or it's the only way that you've done it thus far. So when it comes to to controlling and compromising, if your partner is um, controlling your actions, what you're doing, what you're allowed to do, things like that, you have to take a look at that. That can be very concerning, because that's also, not saying it you are in an abusive relationship, but those are also hallmarks of an abusive relationship, where the one partner controls the other and isolates them. This allows them to have much better control over the partner. Non-compromising, again, if there are areas that you can compromise in a relationship, compromise. It's not that hard. It brings much more peace to the relationship. If there are areas that, again, you are not willing to compromise in, there's absolutely nothing wrong with standing firm on what you believe to be right. um and I gave that example, respect. I stand firm in that one. So if there are some areas like that with you, that's fine, but make sure that much of your relationship, you do have that give and take. You both are working to create a peaceful atmosphere for each other. um that leads me to number 4, is the non-reciprocal relationship. So if you find that you're constantly giving in a relationship, and you're constantly filling their cup and they're never pouring into yours, then you have to reevaluate. You have to ask yourself, is this relationship draining me, or is this relationship benefiting me? Because we never come into a relationship as halves. We come into a relationship as whole people. Now, what we do with our energy, what we decide to invest, or who we decide to invest our energy in, should benefit us as well. They should be a welcome addition to our lives versus subtracting. So when you find that you are just not getting anything beneficial out of this relationship, and you're pouring and pouring and pouring, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you can only pour for but so long, and then you'll run on empty. And when you run on empty, you're not beneficial to you or your partner. So you cannot fulfill the purpose that you have when you're running on empty. So if you're in a relationship that is not reciprocal, you have to reevaluate that relationship, and it requires some communication. If your partner is unwilling to reciprocate actions, and it doesn't mean it has to be the same exact action, it's just something that's also beneficial. If your partner is unwilling to do so, you might need to reevaluate that relationship, that partner, and where you stand, and why it has been okay thus far for you to not receive anything back. Reevaluate how you look at yourself, because the way we view ourselves, our relationship with ourselves, determines our relationships with other people. So it's something good to review. The last one for this video, for this part 1, is the jokes. Now, I say this because it's okay for couples to joke around. It absolutely is. It's a wonderful thing when couples are close enough to be able to joke around with each other, and to be able to feel comfortable. However, jokes can turn real nasty real fast. So if you find that your partner's jokes are constantly like underhanded put downs, those aren't jokes. As there is always some level of truth in jokes, and sometimes they really are, it really is just a joke. But when it's consistently, when you find that it's those jokes are more consistently put downs, or are more consistently um underhanded compliments or things of that nature, when you find that that's the nature of your partner's quote unquote jokes, no, they're not jokes. Those are put downs. And what that's doing is, whether you understand it or not, it's actually affecting your self-esteem. When you're allowing it, when you hear your partner putting you down, we internalize that. And even if it's like, oh, okay, well, I know this truth about myself, hearing your partner say something will absolutely make you consider that, like, wait, he said or she said, am I like this? Do I do this? And there's no other way but to make us think twice about it. It's the same as a child growing up. If you call a child stupid, the child will grow up to believe that they're stupid. If you tell the child how amazingly brilliant and articulate and everything they are, the child will grow up believing that too. Whatever you tell a person they are consistently, they will hear that. Now, can they break out of it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't mean that because your partner said it, it's what you accept, or it's what you accept as a truth for yourself. But what it does mean is it speaks volumes about how your partner views you, how your partner respects you, how your partner cares for you. And sometimes it's just something that people learn growing up. They learn, those kind of sideways jokes, and that's how you have thick skin, and that's how some people are. However, if that's how your partner is with you, and you address it and it still continues, then again you have to reevaluate the relationship that you're in. And does my partner respect me? Does my partner love me the way that they say they do? These are some really, really important things that we have to consider. If you see these things in your relationship, it doesn't mean you have to jump out of your relationship. It could be a simple thing of, hey, let's sit down and talk, and it can fix the issue. However, if your partner does not care to fix the issue, then you do have to reevaluate the relationship. Do they care about me? Because if I say this hurts and you continue, do you really care for me? So part two will be coming up soon with the next 5 signs of an unhealthy relationship. If there are any other videos you'd like me to cover, email me at love@therelationshipcouch.com. Let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you. Till next time, ta-ta.